Welcome to The Breath Effect.
My name is Emma Ferris, and today I have with me Simon, who I'm going to teach some Pilates that you can try at home. Now, Pilates is a great form of exercise. It uses your postural awareness and your breath control to help move the body in a natural way. To start off with, I just want to make sure that you feel comfortable with doing exercise. If you've got any niggles, sore spots, or bits that you want to get checked out, then see a doctor first before completing these exercises. But these are very simple, more of a beginner pace, and are designed to help if you've got breathing problems, to help stretch the bad muscles that like to overwork. So we're going to start with our first exercise, and it's called a standing roll down. So Simon, can you just go in the middle for me here? Perfect. And can you place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly? So before you start the exercise, it's really important to cue into your breathing, as you learn a bit more about in the big exhale if you choose to do it. So what I want you to focus on, Simon, is breathing into the belly, in that tummy rise, good, and breathing out slowly. Good, not overworking the top part of the chest because we're not running away or being stressed, we're just softening and breathing into that belly. Beautiful, longer breath out than a breath in, and focusing on it being a relaxed breath out. That looks great. We're now going to move into your standing roll down, and this is designed to help get mobility through the spine, but only go as far as you feel comfortable. You don't have to go as far as Simon is. He's very flexible. So hands by your side. Good. We're going to breathe into that tummy again, and breathing out, taking the chin to the chest, chin to ribs, ribs to hips. Breathing in to hold halfway down into that belly, and breathing out to go down as far as you feel comfortable. Hips can come over your toes, knees soft through there. Good. Breathing in and breathing out, rolling back up, tucking that pelvis under, working on stacking one vertebrae at a time, collarbones opening, chin coming in. Beautiful. And again, breathing in the nose, into the belly, not too big, and breathing out, chin to chest, chin to ribs, ribs to hips. Good. Soften your knees. Good. Hips stacking over the toes if they feel comfortable. Breathing in and breathing out to roll back up, healing one at a time. Great. So you can do the standing roll down 4 or 5 times to start. It's a great way of getting mobility and just warming up the spine. If you have had some disc problems and you're not feeling comfortable with that, you can move on to the next exercise. That's absolutely fine. Next, we're going to do some neck stretches to help take some tension off the muscles that we overuse when we're breathing. This is great if you're an office worker or you've been driving for long periods or even just flying in air travel. So I'm going to grab my box. Okay, have a seat for me, Simon. Great. So the first one we're going to do is to relax the side neck muscles, your scalenes. And these are used to help lift that rib cage when we're hyperinflating, when we're running, when we're getting stressed. So they're really important to release. So to do it, it's very simple. You're going to take your ear to your shoulder, lengthening away. And you'll feel some tight bands from the base of your head all the way down to the side. You can gently breathe in the nose and out the nose with that, not forcing it, just allowing it to have a gentle stretch. Good. Come back to the middle for me. And you can do both sides. And ideally with these stretches, you're going to hold them for around 60 seconds. And it needs that time for the muscles to actually unlock and for the brain to realize it's okay to relax them. So when you want, you can pause, do both sides, and then come back and join me again. The next exercise is for your upper traps, which comes from the base of your head and comes all the way onto your shoulder blade here. Now your ribs here can actually irritate this muscle. So if you're breathing into the upper chest, it's really important to work on relaxing the breath from the top part, and that'll take that pressure off that big chunky muscle. To stretch it, you're going to take your chin to your chest and then go to your ear to your shoulder. Beautiful. And that long, tight band just to hold there. And with these stretches, you can use your breathing to help mobilize that stretch, going a little bit further every time. Good. You can nod your head and bring it a little bit more towards your opposite hip, because your muscles, they're not just up and down, they've got lots of bands around that you can stretch. Back to the middle for me, Simon. So again, you can do this 60 seconds each side. And the next one is this big V muscle that we have at the front of the neck, which can become very tight, especially when you've got neck pain. To stretch it, you're going to go sideways, and this time going backwards, just gently, as long as there's no pain in the back of your neck. And you can feel it coming right through from the ear, right down to the front. You can open the mouth a little bit if you want, and then go back a little bit further, and that allows you to get more of a stretch through that, what we call your fascia, which is like your glad wrap over your muscles. So just gently holding, and then coming back to the middle. Awesome. So those stretches make a big difference if you have got tension on the shoulders and neck. The next exercise we're going to do is in sitting, and it's called the Mermaid stretch. I'll get you kind of standing for me, Simon. Great. And then have a seat on the mat. And we're going to bring our legs to one side with one foot touching one knee. Perfect. And from here, we're going to focus on getting that lengthening through the side of the rib cage, opening up the lower belly, making it easier to breathe. So we're going to gently relax the shoulders, focus on breathing into the belly and all the way around the lower back. You're going to breathe in, dropping your left hand down to the ground and bringing your right hand up and lengthening across the body, lengthening that side, dropping down to the elbow. So left hand out. You can bring the arm a little bit further out for me if you want, Simon. Good. A bit more into the front out here. Good. And lengthen across that body. Good. Then come back up, breathing in and breathing out to come back over, spiraling across. This hand goes down to this side and the left hand comes up here, lengthening and going across. Feeling the ribs open up. And this is a great stretch if you do get lower back pain. It helps to open up through the bottom ribs. Breathing in to bring the arm over and breathing out, placing that hand down. Good. Elbow drops down and then lengthening across. And just move in the comfortable range you have. You don't need to force it. Good. Coming back to the middle. Wonderful. Let's get you into lying now, Simon. So facing out this way, head onto the blanket. I do recommend you have a little bit of support for your neck. More comfortable when you do this one. Otherwise, you can use your bottom hand to support it. Bring your knees a little bit further forward with me, Simon. Good. And from here, we're going to do an arm opening stretch. Now, arm opening is great to loosen the muscles in the chest. They get tight when you've been carrying, lifting, or again, working at that computer. I'm going to breathe in, Simon, as you bring your top arm up and breathing out, following that hand, go as far as you feel comfortable. Breathing in to come up and breathing out to go over. I do like to get a little bit more rib movement too. So when you're doing it at home, breathe in and breathe out, trying to focus on that ribs moving. This is a nice internal stretch for those breathing muscles that do get blocked. Breathing in and breathing out. This time we're going to go back into a Y shape. Breathing in and breathing out, bringing the arm further that way. Now this stretches your pec minor, one that comes through the front of the chest. Now pec minor loves to overwork when you're breathing. Good. Breathing in to bring it up and breathing out. Nice, long, slow breath out. Good. One more of those. Breathing in and breathing out. And of course, you repeat it on both sides at home so you feel nice and even. Sometimes you do feel a wee pop or click in the back as the back begins to move. That's perfectly fine if you do. Good. Bring the arm in. Excellent. And then I'm going to get you to roll onto your back for me. The next one, Simon, is called single leg circles. And it's all about getting aware of what's happening with your pelvis, still keeping that breathing into the belly and focusing on separating your hip from your back. So I'm going to get you to work on your pelvis position first of all. Can I get you to flatten your back into the mat? Good, nice. And working from that tailbone, rolling, arching away. Good. Focusing on just little movements as we work through there. Good, arching away. Good, watch that we're gripping through here a little bit, so just drop that chest down. Good, and back to the middle. So finding that neutral position is ideal because we don't move around in an arch position or a flat position, we're in the middle. And that makes it the easiest position for our ear to get into the lower belly. From there, we're going to focus on keeping the control with this knee. And I'm going to get you to straighten this leg in line with the other one. Good. If you tighten your hamstrings, you can lower the leg down. Or if you feel that's too heavy, you can just bring it up a little bit higher too. You can do a little bit of a turn out with this leg as long as the pelvis doesn't move. This can be a hard exercise, so if you don't feel up to it, just skip to the next one. We're going to focus on that breath control still, so breathing out to go out and around, long breath, and then breathing in to come up. So it's a slow exercise, We don't want it to be too fast. Good. And what I'm looking for is if you're able to keep your pelvis still here, keep breathing, we always want that, and keeping your legs stable. You can imagine you've got a glass, freshly squeezed juice or a beautiful red wine, whatever your poison is, and you don't want it to fall off and waste it. Good. You can go a few more the opposite way. Around a minute, and you'll feel that leg begin to get heavy and tired. And then you'll switch to the other side. So bend that knee for me. Good. And come back down from there. Excellent. Now we're going to move on to a bridge. Now, a bridge is a great exercise to getting your bottom strength and your hamstrings working. To do that, I want you to think about flattening your back into the mat and rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming into a plank position from your knee to your shoulders, keeping those knees in line. Good. And then rolling down, if it feels comfortable, one vertebrae at a time. If your back feels sore with that, you can just come up gently without doing the roll. Good. And again, rolling up from there. Squeezing those buttock muscles. Good. That's it. And then come back down. And your buttock muscles both should work if we think that they come on automatically, but sometimes you've actually got to go and tell them to work. My little trick with that seems odd, but imagine you've got a credit card, swipe between your butt cheeks, and you don't want anybody to grab it out. Works well. Or a blank check. Good. Okay, one more of those. So at home, you can focus on doing around 20 to 30 of these. It just helps to warm that spine up and get the buttocks and the hamstrings working. Just watch those knees going out. Excellent. Now, while we're focusing on the buttock muscles, let's go and do your side buttock muscles. So I'm going to get you to turn facing this way for me, Simon, lying on your side. Good. So we're going to do what we call the clan. And this one is great for hip problems, for getting stability in the pelvis, even if you've sprained an ankle or hurt your knee. Even lower back pain, actually, it's great for that. Now, we want to take some of these muscles off from working. And these are the front ones here called the TFL, your tensor fascia lata. The best way of doing that is doing a quarter turn forward for me, Simon. That's great. And then you're more likely to lift from these big glute muscles that are much stronger instead of cheating from the front ones. We're going to keep our heels together, focused on that breathing, and just watch that quarter turn. You've gone a bit further forward. Great. And then we're going to think about as if I was pulling on your leg away from you and you're drawing that hip back up into the socket. So pulling it up against my hands, up towards you. Yep, good. And then lifting that knee as you come up from there. Good. Without moving that pelvis back. So we're going to go back down again for me, Simon. Good. And keep that forward. I'm going to block you back here. If you're at home, you can use a wall and put your fist behind you as a spacer. Good. A little bit further forward with that quarter turn. Good. But then suck the hip into the socket. Yeah, that's better. And then heels together. Good. That's really working. Sometimes you've actually got to make that muscle work. It takes a bit of to turn it on. Good. That's it. Now slow it down for me. Now, I really like to activate this muscle for a long endurance hold. So doing 10-second hold. 10 times, ideally on both sides. That muscle will work for you all day. Good. Excellent. And you're going to obviously switch around and change to both sides. Let's go onto your hands and knees, Simon, for your last exercise. It's called the cat-cow stretch, and it's a great way to help get your spine mobility. If your wrists aren't comfortable, you can go onto your knuckles or put weights around that you can grip on. So we're going to line everything up. That looks pretty good. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We're going to lengthen through that crown of the head and push that chest away from the ground, just so that helps to get that curve. We talk about that spinal curve a bit more in my breathing program, the big exhale, but it's just trying to get that little curve of the neck, then the opposite way, and then a little bit in the lower back. This is a great way to retrain it. From there, I'm going to get you to breathe in the nose into your belly, expanding through into that rib cage, and then breathing out to tuck under, starting from the tailbone, curling up. One vertebrae at a time, and that chin comes down to the chest. Excellent. Breathing in at the top, and then breathing out to move. Good. Might be going too slow for you, Simon. Good. Breathing in and breathing out, tucking under, curling up from there. Good. Watching the tension through here, try and drop it down and not gripping through the tummy. That's better. Soft tummy. We're not trying to pull everything in and suck it in, otherwise you lose that core stability. Good. And then tuck under, just gently. Good. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Awesome. and then back to the middle from there. Awesome. Have a wee seat back from there, Simon, for me. So that's it for my short version of the Pilates class. Thank you, Simon, for joining me. I hope this is great for you guys at home. It's a very small snippet, but you can do it on the go and you get some relief from those tight muscles that can affect you when you're tight from breathing and from stress. Now, if you haven't already, I've got a great little online breathing quiz, 2 of them actually. You can go to our website,
www.thebreatheffect.com.
If you want to, you can just join me for my 30-day breathing program, The Big Exhale, and learn more techniques to help bring your body back into a calm state.